There's a moment you didn't notice while it was happening. Someone who used to matter to you called with bad news. And you listened. You said the right things. Then you hung up. And inside, there was nothing. No pain, no grief, nothing. And you felt proud of that. You thought, finally nothing can touch me. Finally I'm strong. I'm going to say the thing you haven't let yourself name. That wasn't the moment you got strong. That was the moment a part of you quietly died. And you stood over the body, clapping. You call it discipline. You call it strength. You call it being a man. It has another name, a truer one. Numbness. You're not at peace. You're hiding. Because one time you cared, for real, and you lost. A person, a belief, a version of yourself. And it hurt so much you told yourself, never again. So you cut. You cut people off. You cut the feeling off. You cut out the part that could be moved at all. You thought you were putting on armor. You were building a coffin. And you're sitting inside it. When was the last time something actually made you want? Made you laugh so hard you forgot to look cold? If that question made you pause, stay for the next 9 minutes. Because one man walked this road all the way to the end, further than you can imagine. And he left behind a piece of evidence you can't argue with. His name was Miyamoto Musashi. At 13, he killed his first man. A swordsman named Arima Kihei posted an open challenge in the village square. A boy stepped out. People thought it was a joke. The boy threw him to the ground, and as the man struggled to rise, the boy beat him to death. That was the year 1596. By the end of his life, he survived more than 60 duels to the death. Never lost. Not 60 sparring matches. 60 times a man walked out intending to kill him. And 60 times Musashi walked back alone. If anyone on earth ever earned the right to talk to you about coldness, about killing your fear, about the price of a hardened heart, it's this man. So listen closely to what he actually did, because it's the opposite of what you're doing. For the next few minutes, I'm not going to hand you a hit of inspiration you forget by lunch. I'm going to give you a new way to see the thing you mistook for your strength. And one concrete thing you can do tonight. Not be in touch with your feelings. That's useless. One move, 3 steps. It has a name. By the end of this video, you won't be able to look at your own toughness the same way again. That's the promise. People remember Musashi as a killing machine. That's half of him. The other half, almost no one mentions. He was a painter, not for fun. His ink paintings, sumi-e, still hang in museums, still studied today. He had no teacher. In The Book of 5 Rings, he says it plainly. He taught himself everything. No one trained him. And this is where you need to stop. The same hand that split more than 60 men in two is the hand that laid one fragile line of ink onto paper. So precise that 400 years later, people still stand in front of it and hold their breath. A numb man can't paint like that. You can't capture the sorrow of a dead branch if you're dead inside. You can't paint the tension of a single moment if you can't feel tension anymore. The thing you thought Musashi stood for, a man feels nothing. He is the proof against it. He didn't switch his feeling off. He sharpened it, like a blade. Now back to you. What you're doing isn't mastering your emotions. It's anesthetizing them. And those two things are complete opposites. Think about it. An animal under anesthetic feels no pain when it's cut, but it also can't do anything. It just lies there. What you call strength, nothing can touch me, is just you pulling the plug on yourself. Emotion isn't the enemy. It's information. Fear tells you something valuable is under threat. Anger tells you a line just got crossed. Sadness tells you something that mattered is gone. You crush all of it. Then make your decisions in the dark and call it being objective. You're not objective. You're blind. You threw away the compass and felt proud you stopped looking at the needle. The strongest man isn't the one who feels nothing. It's the one who feels everything. Sharper, deeper, and whose hand still doesn't shake. Let me tell you about one painting. It's called Koboku Megekizu, Shrike on a Withered Branch. Musashi painted it, in ink, a few strokes. In it, a small bird sits on a bare, leafless branch. Below it, an insect slowly crawls up the wood. The bird doesn't move. It just watches, stares, without blinking. No blood, no movement. Nothing is happening. And it's the most tense thing you'll ever look at, because all of its weight lives in the attention. That instant right before everything breaks. The bird sees all of it, feels all of it, measures all of it, and stays perfectly still. That's not a numb bird. That's a bird in control. A man who's gone hard can't paint that moment because he can't feel it anymore. You have to be alive inside, violently alive, to catch the life inside something that still. Musashi held a sword and killed. Then he held a brush and poured that same intensity into one line of ink. Same man, same fire, different blaze. That is control, not the emptiness you're carrying. And here's the part I bet you didn't see coming. The philosophy you've been hiding behind to justify going cold. Stoicism never told you to do this. The Stoics had a word. Apatheia. It sounds like apathy, so for 1,000 years, people mistranslated it. You've been mistranslating it your whole life. Apatheia doesn't mean feeling nothing. It means not being ruled by destructive emotion. Freedom, not numbness. They even had a second word, eupatheia, for the good, healthy emotions. Joy, caution, the right kind of desire. The Stoics didn't throw feeling away. They filtered it. Marcus Aurelius ran an empire through war and plague. He buried his own children. And in the Meditations, you don't read a man made of stone. You read a man in pain, who still chose to stand up and do what was right. He felt the loss. He just didn't let it crush him. That's the whole distance between mastery and numbness. The numb man feels nothing, so he overcomes nothing. The master feels all of it and stands anyway. Only one of those is strength, and it's not the one you've been doing. So how do you thaw out without falling apart? Here, 3 steps. I call it the living blade. Because a blade is only useful while it's still sharp, still able to feel. A rusted blade is safe and useless. Step 1. Name it. Next time a feeling rises and your reflex is to crush it, stop. 3 seconds. Name it in a full sentence. Not, I'm fine. I'm angry because blank. I'm afraid of losing blank. Naming isn't weakness. It's the first move of a swordsman. See clearly what's in front of you. Step 2. Read the signal. Ask, what is this emotion telling me? Anger, What line got crossed? Fear. What valuable thing is under threat? Sadness. What did I just lose? The emotion is a messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Read the letter. Step 3. Choose the cut. Now you act. Not a reflex, a choice. You have the full information, the thing the numb man never has, because he killed it back at step 1. You feel the whole signal. You read it, and then you freely choose. That's strength. That's Musashi picking up the brush instead of the sword. Same intensity, different choice. Name it, read it, choose. Live 1 week like that, and see if you can still call the old emptiness strength. In 1643, Musashi withdrew into a cave called Reigondo. Alone. He knew he was dying. In that cave, he didn't sit there hardened, waiting for the end. He wrote. He left behind the Book of 5 Rings, and 1 week before his last breath, he wrote the Dokudo, the way of walking alone. 21 rules. People read the Dokudo as a manifesto of numbness. Read it closely. It isn't. Rule 1. Accept everything just the way it is. Rule 4. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. That's not an order to switch off your feeling. It's an order to see clearly, to stop letting your ego and your fear distort what's in front of you. The dying man in the stone cave isn't teaching you how to stop feeling. He's teaching you how to feel, without being fooled by it. Now go back to that phone call at the start. The moment you heard the bad news and felt nothing inside, and thought it was strength. It wasn't. It was an old wound wearing armor. The strongest man I know of isn't the one nothing can reach. It's the one who lets everything reach him, fully, no dodging, and still holds the blade steady. The hand that can kill is the same hand that can paint a withered branch. The question was never whether you feel. The question is whether your hand stays steady when you do. This week, thaw out once. Name 1 thing you've been burying. Then choose your cut. The blade is only dangerous while it's still alive.